Welcome back to Man Now Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, Dr. J had some words to say about Kevin Durant and kind of like Dame Lillard situation as well. He had a comment he made. He went and I want to say he did an interview with a female content creator who posted the clip of it on Twitter. The full episode isn't out yet, but I want to make sure I get her name right. It's her name is Joy D'Angelo. You can go check her out on Twitter, but she did the interview. So shout out to her page and her channel for getting Dr. J interview and getting this content for everybody to digest and speak about and talk about. So I kind of want to talk about it, because Dr. J had some somewhat negative things to say about Kevin Durant, and it seems like a lot of the old heads of the legends, they want to throw a lot of shade at the team hopping, and then they use Kevin Durant as the face of that as recently. And it used to be LeBron James. They would use LeBron James' name when they're talking about those things. But now Kevin Durant is that because he's an easier target because, every time LeBron James team hops, he actually gets a ring. So it's kind of hard for them to come out and continue to say things. But Kevin Durant is an easier target. So what I want to do, I want to play what Dr. J said, what Julius Erving said about Kevin Durant, which was toward the end of the clip, and toward the beginning, he was speaking specifically about more. Actually, he was speaking more in general, where he wasn't using names, but the name came out toward the end. So I'll play exactly what he said.
But these guys, since the prisoners are running the show and not the warden.
Wait.
They just decide,
what does that mean?
It just where a star player on the team is like, screw this city and all that support that they've given me, and I'm going south. I'm going to Florida, or I'm going to LA, or I'm going to Texas, or I'm going somewhere else. So, these decisions, and they're business decisions.
Right.
I understand.
Right.
Or whatever. But they have not helped the game. They have not helped to keep the parity within the game. You build these super teams.
So the hot topic right now is Damian Lillard going to the Heat. Dame has never hopped around. He's proven his loyalty to Portland, and they just haven't been able to provide the right team for him to compete anymore. So are you against that move?
Well, wherever he goes, he probably will finish his career because of his age and the fact that he's played 12, 13 years, and he wants to have a chance at winning the championship.
Right.
And he doesn't think he can get it there.
Right.
So that's a good reason.
Yes.
For him. But a guy 26 or 27
hopping
just wanting to hop around. Look at how many times Durant has hopped around. No, for real. OKC to Golden State to where do you go after that? Now he's in Phoenix.
So you don't respect that?
And you can't see, but on the video when she asks, so you don't respect that, and he shook his head no. So that's the last thing we're going to address, the fact that he doesn't respect Kevin Durant changing teams, right? So we're gonna lead up to that, but let's back up to what he said first, which I dislike, and which we've had 9 black people in sports, the NFL specifically, who would use that warden and prisoner analogy when they was talking about the ownership and the players. And I can't remember which team owner it was doing a collective bargaining agreement when they was in there having heated discussions. And one of the team owners, it may have been Jerry Richardson, the one who owned the Carolina Panthers before they forced him to sell it. I think he made the comment and got mad and said, we're letting the prisoners run the prison, or we're letting the prisoners run the institution, right? And that word got out that he said that, and he caught a lot of hell for that. So here it is now, we got Dr. J, and I guess since he is a black man, we're supposed to be okay with him using this analogy that we had issues with before. We still have an issue with that analogy. I don't care. I mean, you have to expand your vocabulary and be able to say what you mean and get your point across without using that type of analogy that people have already said is offensive. You don't come out and say that because players are deciding to leave teams in free agency, that's similar to the prisoners running over the wardens and running the prison yard. You just don't say those type of things. And for someone who played in the 70s and 80s and lived through that type of America, to just be freely and openly comfortable with coming out and saying that, I just don't understand that. All right, so that's the first thing that was just off about that whole exchange, right? Then he led up to the point of, he was saying, she asked what he meant by that, and she was saying that, he said that when players decide that they want to leave a city, right, and he said that that city was embracing them and devoted to them, and you decide to say, screw this city, I'm leaving. And then he said, I'm going to what do you say, I'm going to South Beach, I'm going to LA. That's specifically the trajectory of LeBron James. He went to South Beach, then he went to LA. So we know who you were talking about without saying the name. So he first and foremost said, yeah, I'm going to South Beach, I'm going to LA and all that stuff. He said that was not good for basketball. And I kind of halfway agree with part of what he was saying. He wanted to make a point that leaving teams in free agency. Remember, LeBron James has never forced a trade. He had a contract that he signed. He fulfilled his contract, and he was a free agent. And he looked at who could give him the better deal, the better opportunity, not just for his basketball livelihood, but for his family as well. Right? He looked at the situations for both ends, and he said, well, hey, look, man, I think I'd be better suited here. It's just not a basketball decision, it's for my family as well. Right? So you can't knock a man for making the decision in free agency and doing something, right? So that's my point about that. But he wanted to make a point that when you do that, you're not making the NBA better because of the disparity in talent. You have teams that are talent heavy, and you have teams that are talent deficient, right? And then you get two stars that we would like to see go head to head, which is good for basketball. But these two stars decide to play together, and that kind of kills the competition a little bit. So from that aspect, I understand what he's saying. If he would have stopped there and said, when these guys join together, we don't get to see them go head to head. We never get to see Ali fight Frazier. We never, you get what I'm saying? We never get to see Ali fight George Foreman. Like, if these guys was avoiding each other, we get cheated out a little bit, right? So imagine if you got these two great heavyweights that just never would fight each other, right? So they say, look, man, we'll fight the same guys, because that's the only equivalent to teaming up with a guy in an individual sport, to try to make the analogy fit. So if they agreed, look, we're not gonna fight each other, but we'll fight the same guys. You know what I'm saying? I'll fight Glitsko, you fight Glitsko, the next year, and you get to see us beat up on him, but we never go head to head. That's equivalent to what he's saying. Players like Kevin Durant did with Steph, and players like LeBron did with Wade, right? So, all right, I get it, right? Competition, you want to see them go head to head. That's one aspect of it. That's the part I agree with. However, he didn't stop there, right? He didn't stop there, because now you're trying to make leaving in free agency equivalent to inmates running the asylum. Or he didn't even say inmates. He said prisoners running the prison, right? So what does prisoners running the prison have anything to do with players leaving a team in free agency, right? That like you gotta be, you gotta be fair. Like, what is wrong with a guy leaving in free agency? It's free agency. You're a free agent. You get to decide where you want to go, and you get to talk to multiple teams in multiple cities, and they tell you, hey, this is why we're a good fit. This is what we can do for you. And if this team can't do for you what you want to be done, okay, that's cool. That's one thing. right? The only point you have is when you join another megastar and you cheat people who want to see y'all go head to head out of going head to head. Okay, I get that part. But yeah, you can't compare that to this prison analogy, right? So, you know, that's the other thing I want to make a point of. Then he took it a step further. And she asks, well, the hot topic that's going on right now is Damian Lillard, because you're talking about guys leaving in free agency and that not being something good for the NBA, and it's cheating the fans. Then you should have a problem with any guy leaving their team, right? Right? If you're going to mention LeBron James, not by his name, but by the moves he made, South Beach in LA, you mentioned LeBron James, then you've got to have a problem with Dame. So tell me what you think about Dame. And then he backpedaled, and then he showed his bias, and then he showed his double standard, and the same rules didn't apply to Dame Lillard. He said, oh, well, Dame Lillard, you know, Portland can't give him what he needs. He wants to win, and he's been loyal to Portland. Right. And I want to pinpoint what that loyalty was. But he said he's been loyal to Portland. So I understand that. That's a good reason to leave a team. But before that, he said leaving a team, period, was bad for the NBA. But it's okay for Dame Lillard to leave a team. And he didn't even say what teams are off limit. Evidently, Dame Lillard can join any squad he wants to. He can join who Denver just beat, Miami. He can join Miami, which is equivalent to what Kevin Durant did, because Kevin Durant went and joined a team that lost in the finals, which was the Warriors. They lost to Cleveland. He didn't join the team that won it. He joined the team that lost it. So if Dame go and join Miami, which is what he asked for, that's equivalent to what Kevin Durant did. The only thing that is different is that Golden State won 73 games that year, but they got to the finals. They both got to the finals. So this team is a finals contender. If Dame Lillard goes to Miami, you have to give him the same criticism you gave Kevin Durant for joining a team that good, right? You have to, or you're a hypocrite, right? So he already shown that he has a double standard and he's been a hypocrite by saying, oh, it's okay for Dame to do it because he was loyal to Portland. All right, let's talk about that loyalty. How was Dame Lillard loyal to Portland? He was loyal because he played 11 seasons with them, and he criticized LeBron, Paul George, and Kevin Durant for going to different teams. He criticized them for it, so that makes him seem more loyal by saying, "I'm never leaving Portland. I want to bring a championship to Portland. I love Portland." He said all that. He said all these players was running from the grind. He said all of that. So that makes him look loyal because he played 11 seasons and said everybody else was running from the grind. But now that he wants to run from the grind, he's still loyal. 11 seasons is loyal. Kevin Durant played 9 seasons for OKC. Are those 2 seasons making him less loyal than Dame Lillard? Like, Kevin Durant played 9 seasons with Golden State. He got drafted when he started playing for Golden State when he was 19. Now, not Golden State, but OKC when he was 19. He was a 19-year-old, and he grew up with them. So when Dr. J throws out, for a guy to leave at 26 or 27 years old, that's not good. Well, he played 9 seasons when he left, though. Forget before he was 30. Like, Dame is past 30 now. Okay, he played longer in college, right? He came in the league as a grown man, 23, 22 years old. Kevin Durant was 19 when he came in the league. He played 9 seasons. So the fact that he joined Golden State before he was 30 doesn't mean he wasn't loyal to OKC. Are you going to equate 11 years being loyal and 9 years not being loyal? Like, what did Dame Lillard do different than Kevin Durant for you to say Kevin Durant was disloyal and Dame Lillard was loyal? Like, someone has to explain that to me. Seriously, man. Maybe I'm missing it. I don't understand. Is the 2 years that much of a factor? So 2 more years, then that would have made Kevin Durant loyal. I don't understand. I don't get it. So, and here's the other thing that's the real big difference between Kevin Durant and Dame. Kevin Durant finished his contract out with OKC. and he went and sought out the teams for free agency, and he decided my best bet here is to go to Golden State. That's my best bet, or some other team. He could have went to Houston and played with James Harden, or he could have went, to any other team. He could have went to San Antonio. He could have did those things. He didn't have to go to Golden State, right? But he decided to leave in free agency. Dame Lillard is quitting in the middle of his contract and saying, I want to force a trade. And he wanted to be treated like free agency because he want to choose the team he goes to. Trade me to Miami. And this is the guy you're saying is loyal over Kevin Durant. You're saying he's loyal. He's not only disloyal, he's a hypocrite. He's now running from the grind. And Dame is my guy. Top 3-point guard in the league behind Steph Curry and Kyrie Irving. That's my guy. I've been rooting for him for a long time. That's my dude. I seen his talent coming from a mile away. 3-4 years ago, I was telling everybody this dude is better than Westbrook by a mile, and nobody saw it. Everybody fussed at me about it. So this is not a Dame hate rant. Dame is my dude, but you got to call a spade a spade. He's been a hypocrite, which is fine because I didn't have a problem with any other players that decided they wanted to go play for a team. I never had no problem with that. I like player empowerment, right? So I don't have no problem with that. And for Dr. J to say it's hurting the NBA, well, you show me where the bottom line at. You show me the numbers where they're sitting down and saying we're losing money, and we're losing money because these players are able to pick where they go in free agency. I'm trying to figure out all I hear when Adam Silver talk is how much the game is expanding and how much the game is expanding into other countries and how the game is growing and how they can get these players like Jaylen Brown $304 million on a 5-year deal because they're projecting how much they're going to be making as the NBA and team owners down the line. They see these TV deals are crazy. They said the TV deals make the deals that these players are getting look like nothing. So you telling me that NBA is hurting because the money in the bottom line is not hurting. Adam Silver has saying, look, we're growing. So if the NBA is growing, what's going on in the NBA that's hurting it? It ain't players leaving in free agency. That's not what's happening. The only thing that might be hurting in the NBA by players leaving in free agency is when players leave small market teams. When players leave small market teams, that's hurting them. But it's not hurting the NBA. It's only hurting those small market teams. So if Kevin Durant played for the Charlotte Hornets and decided I'm leaving in free agency, the city of Charlotte and the Charlotte Hornets is going to take a major hit financially. And I'm pretty sure if they had Kevin Durant, they would be on TV. They had TV deals. So that's the only thing that I can think of is that's hurting. It's hurting small market teams. But that's not what he said. He said it's hurting the NBA, period. And I'm trying to figure out how. I ain't seen nobody turn around. I ain't seen a person say I'm not watching the Phoenix Sun game because Kevin Durant joined them last year yet. They just got more TV deals. It's only people like Charles Barkley that's jealous of Kevin Durant. Like Charles Barkley been rooting for the Suns ever since he left Phoenix. And then when Chris Paul showed up there, this guy that he said was the best leader in the NBA, he was loving the Suns. Even when they wasn't really the favorites, he was picking them to win it every year while Chris Paul was there. And then all of a sudden, when Kevin Durant showed up, now the Suns are trash. He don't think they can win anything. He said all this bad stuff about him. He just never want to say anything good about Kevin Durant. So anyway, I want to end it with this. The hypocrisy of Dr. J toward the end of that clip saying that he don't respect Kevin Durant for jumping teams, right? And mind you, remember, he left in free agency and went to Golden State. He fulfilled his obligation in his contract in Golden State, and then he left Golden State in free agency. Now, let's just say this right here. You can't have it both ways, because if he would have stayed in Golden State, you still wouldn't have respected him. It ain't about that he team hop. You don't like something about Kevin Durant, which I want to pinpoint what that is. You didn't have an issue with Kevin Durant in OKC. I don't remember nobody saying anything. As soon as he went to Golden State, that's when all the issues started. So let's just call a spade a spade. What it really is you feel like that a player as good as Kevin Durant is threatening to the old head's legacy. And people like Charles Barkley, who never got a ring, and people like Dr. J, who only got one ring, they see, I'm a little bit jealous and envious of Kevin Durant that got two, because now he's a better player than me. He's made more money than me. And he went and got two rings that I feel like was cheap because he's too good to join a team that was that good. Okay, that's basically what it boils down to. They think Kevin Durant is too good of a player to join Golden State or any team that were finals contenders the year before. And they feel like, man, you got two rings, but I don't want to count those two because I played my whole career and can only get one. Or in Charles Barkley's case, I played my whole career and couldn't get any. And you get to just skip the line in the list of great players and just leapfrog us. But we feel like it's unfair that you leapfrog us because you got rings that we consider easy rings. So now what it is now we're going to criticize everything he does from now on, because what they kept saying is why he was in Golden State. Oh, we're not going to count those rings. We're not going to count those rings. He needs to leave Golden State and form his own team. He needs to leave Golden State and form his own team. All right, well, cool. Y'all saying y'all not going to respect my rings. I'll leave Golden State. And what happened when he left Golden State? That was the dumbest thing you could ever do. Why would you leave Steph Curry for Kyrie Irving? That was the first thing they said. That was dumb. You left Steph Curry for Kyrie Irving. Why you ain't staying in Golden State? After they all in the media trash him for even joining Golden State. Now you go trash him for leaving Golden State. And then now you got this narrative, oh man, you team hopping. So now we ain't even gonna respect your legacy because you team hopping. So, I mean, it's nothing he's going to be able to do. They've already put the target on his back that they're not going to respect him and you know, like he should be. And that's fine. That's cool. It's only a couple of old heads that think like that. Everybody don't think like that. It's just a couple of jealous ones, right? Which is cool, right? What I would say is I'm not going to say I don't respect his rings or the rings that LeBron James got with Miami. For joining the super team and all that stuff. But what I will say is when I compare the rings that the guys are getting in this era, like Steph, KD, Wade, LeBron, I will say that it's more impressive to see how a Duncan got his, or maybe Kobe, and of course Jordan. And a lot of other people, but those are more impressive. But there's no less. That I'm not saying I'm putting less respect on it. That's for sure not what I'm saying. So for Julius Erving to say I don't respect him team hopping, but I respect Dame Lillard for doing it. That's just ridiculous to me. Last thing I say, Moses Malone, may he rest in peace, the great Moses Malone, who got a ring with Dr. J, who played for probably 5 or 6 different teams. He played for Houston. He played for the Bucks, Atlanta. He played for the Sixers. Played for a lot of different teams, right? He was a 24-12 guy. Great center, great player. If it wasn't for him leaving Houston and Coleman and Jordan joining Dr. J in Philly, Dr. J doesn't get that ring. Right? And for Moses Malone to help him get that ring, and for Moses Malone to have been on 2 or 3, maybe 4 different teams before he even got to Philly, and then on 2 or 3 different teams after Philly, for Dr. J to come on a podcast and say he don't respect Kevin Durant because he's played for too many teams is a slap in the face to Moses Malone. his former teammate to help him get a ring. Right? You just got to think about stuff you say before you say it. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Is Dr. J right in his assessment, or is he totally wrong, man? Let me know what you think.